Hello, everybody, and welcome to Mirror List Monday, right here on the Eat, Sleep, List YouTube channel. My name is Matt Johnson, your host, and today I want to talk about finding positivity through affirmations in this very negative world that we are living in. Let's make a list. So a couple of weeks ago, I posted a video on this YouTube channel called the Political Values List. And it was not something that I was very comfortable doing. I even stated in the video how uncomfortable that I was doing it, but I felt it felt necessary at the time. It was something that was weighing heavily on my heart and my mind, and I broke my personal code of no politics to do it. And I will promise you that the closest we will ever get into that department again on this channel is through history. Okay? Because the first week was great. I mean, I was nervous about posting this thing to the internet. I was. The first week was great. The full video was spectacular. There was no dislikes. There was no nasty comments. But it wasn't until I posted the Just the Lists edition the following Tuesday, or this past Tuesday, that things got rough. Instead of kind discourse, which is something that I tend to promote here on this show, and also not focus. I also promote don't focus on my list. If there's something that I say for my lists that you don't agree with, then what's yours? That's always something that I do. And instead, there was a lot of stuff said my way, including a nice comment to get bent over a disagreement over one of my picks. All right, and it was a nice reminder. It was a nice reminder to never go in that avenue again. I turned the video private, and because I did not want my YouTube channel getting absorbed into that algorithm. And I hate that my most watched video to date was that. It was also my most disliked video. And even though I went private, there was a lot of stuff that bothered me as far as comment-wise going. But I'm actually pretty proud of myself for how I came out on the other side of it. It bothered me for about a day. And then I kept on moving on. Maybe even half a day. No, it was about a day. And fortunately for me, I have really good friends. I had two good friends when the original full video came out that told me I did a pretty good job navigating the middle of the aisle of this very controversial subject. And I was grateful for that. I am grateful for that. And it made me feel good. That helped in not letting this completely get to me. Because years ago, this YouTube channel would have been shut down completely. Years ago, I would have been done. I hate that, again, I do so much fun and positive stuff, I like to think. And that was the one thing that got negative attention. But I stay true to my values, even though the video is not up, because for the sake of the channel, and just because I don't want to see people's awful, nasty comments, I still stand by it. And the reason why I'm talking about all of this is because through positive affirmation, I was over it. I want this channel to be fun. I want people to come to this channel and have a good time. But through positive affirmation, I'm still going. I'm still running this channel. I'm here recording 5 days after all of the nasty comments started to happen. And I'm still here. And I have an optimistic look about it. It was a lesson. It was a tough lesson and a reminder to just stay away from that. And I'm all the better for it. But it's hard, really, to be positive, to have a positive outlook on a lot of things, especially in that nature. For me, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm in a very negative environment. And from the minute I wake up some days till, actually most days, I shouldn't say some, but from the minute I wake up most days till I go to bed, I'm surrounded by negativity. It's a lot of complaining, a lot of whining, some of it about stuff people can control and choose not to fix, and a lot of it stuff that people cannot control, but they focus in on that. And it's just nonstop, and it gets tiresome. It gets tiresome. Some days I wake up and the first thing I hear about is political derangements in the mornings. And this is something like when I was getting my mental health in order, I purposely avoid looking up any of that stuff. No phone. You got to wake up, got to find reasons and ways to have a positive morning because it sets you on the course of the rest of your day. And talking about politics is not something that I enjoy. And some people want to start the day off bright and early, 4:30, 4:45 in the morning, complaining about politics. And that's a terrible way to start the day, at least for myself. And you know what? For most people, even if they don't want to admit it, it's turning on the news first thing in the morning is just not great for your health. And then I go into that situation, I leave that situation, I go into work. And I'm surrounded by people who hate their job openly, repeating the same stuff every day in, day out, how much they hate it, how much they want to leave. Yet when you press them about leaving, and it's hard. It's hard to hear that every day. And then I come home and things have gotten a little bit better, but also most of my day has been meddled with negativity. And it's gotten me thinking a lot lately, thinking about a lot of the conversations that I have with people is like, do people talk about what they love anymore? I don't know. I mean, when I'm with my friends, I'm great. I'm happy. We talk about stuff we love. We talk about football in these podcasts that we do and comic book stuff and Star Wars and all the stuff that I love. But when I'm around people, other individuals, it's whining. It's talking about stuff that they hate. I hate this. I hate that. Or if they're talking about something that they love, there's a negative connotation about it. Talking about other people, talking bad about their friends, drama stuff that should be nobody's business. And it's, for myself, it's really, really hard to be around that environment. It is. And I think the biggest challenge for me too, now, I'm a dad, right? I wear the dad hat. I talk about my son quite often. And how do I create a positive environment for my son when he's surrounded by a lot of negativity? And that's what I worry about. All right? That's what I worry about. And because I was fortunate, things weren't always great growing up. Like, it wasn't always great, but I had great parents who would, when I wake up, good morning and have a great day and stuff like that. I went from that to, wow. Did you see what this politician did? Did you see what that politician did? And it's hard. And I'm trying to stand up for that. My mental health was the best when I was away from those people, when I was working all of the time, and like this is the challenge as a dad, as a parent, is that I don't want my kid falling into the negativity. I don't want him to hate waking up every day, hate who he is, hate going to school. I want him to be upbeat and happy to take on life's challenges, even though, again, this world is it's tough. All right. Every time you turn on social media, they're highlighting the bad, rarely ever the good. And us as a society kind of reflects that, the way that people act. I want my son to love life. I want him to be happy every day, that every day is a new day, a new opportunity to do something and do something great and be better than he was yesterday. And that is my challenge. That is my challenge. And the only way I get to do that, the best way for me to do that, is to build myself up through positive affirmations. All right? Talk myself up. Because I have to. Most days, I have to be my own biggest cheerleader. Through that, I can lay the groundwork for my son to live a happy, prosperous, and positive life. All right, so a few lessons here from this video. One is to protect your peace. Peace is absolutely priceless. It's worth more than any monetary amount, than any material possession that you may own. It's worth more than relationships and friendships. It's fragile, and it's hard-earned. It's not easy to come around. But when you finally have it, it is soul-crushing when you can start to feel it being pulled away from you. I have had the unfortunate experience of cutting off friends and family members who disrupted my peace. And maybe not completely cut them off, but keep them at a distance. Because when we're together and you disrupt my peace, or you add no value to it, in fact, you add anxiety and stress, then I can't be around you all the time. It's not fun being overstimulated when you're with somebody that you love and care about. And I get it. People are going to vent and stuff. Me and my friend Will just had a great vent session on Wednesday over some delicious chicken wings. But not every interaction that we have is negative. We find fun and positivity in it. And I love that. But when I'm with somebody and every time we hang out, it goes into the negativity department. And even when I'm trying to talk about something that we both mutually love, it goes right into negativity. It's hard to be around. It's hard to be around. You can't change the people within your environment. All right? But you can change your environment. So what that means is that, yes, this environment that I'm in, it's right now it's peaceful. And there's people within it. There's people within my circle, my family, my friends and stuff. I can't control the way that they are, the way that they act. But if they start to add a negative they have a negative impact on my life, then I change the environment, phase them out. They're not in my orbit, so to speak. And it's a tough thing to go through, but if you value your peace, this is something that you have to do. All right? I love everybody. Everybody who I've had to cut off, it was not easy. And I still love them dearly, and I still would do just about anything for them. But as far as the daily or regular interactions where I have to hear the negative stuff, I just cannot do. And it's fine. I'm at peace with that. And I think most importantly of all, we're talking about positive affirmations here today. It is to be your own hype person. You have to speak kindly to yourself. All right, self-talk is so important when it comes to positive affirmations. So important. I catch myself yelling at myself from time to time. It's a bit of a trauma thing because I've been talked to so poorly in my life by a lot of people. And when I screw up, when I mess up, those things tend to pop up. They tend to pop up, and I yell at myself, and it's really sad. And that's part of the issue. All right, it's part of the issue, and it just festers. It all festers when you're in a negative environment. It just all festers, and you add to it. But if you want to change your life, your outlook on life to a more positive thing, to a more positive view, self-talk is where it starts at. Believe in yourself. Talk yourself up. All right? Don't be arrogant, but don't be too high, but don't be too low. Right? Just right. If you know you are something in a good way, own it. Be proud of it. And that's how that positive mindset begins. There are some people who are just so low, and they have no like self-esteem at all. But you'd be surprised. Wake up in the morning and say, "Man, today's gonna be a good day," or "Man, like I am this, like I'm a good this, and I'm a good that." And your worldview will change for the better. And who knows? Maybe your positivity will rub off on those who are negative around you. It's pretty amazing. It's usually not sudden, but at least instead of falling into the negative world around you, at least be a beacon of light, even if it's just for yourself. All right, everybody, it is time for my favorite part of every single video that we do. It is time to make the list. As I always encourage, please feel free to comment along or send an email, eatsleeplistpod@gmail.com. That email is always in our descriptions. If you want to send your personal positive affirmations, I'd love to hear them. And who knows, maybe something that you talk to yourself about is something that can rub off and help me out or help somebody else out that is rifling through the comments. This show, as I have always preached, is about you. I talk through my top 10s. I open up. I make it seem a little bit more comfortable to express yourself. At least that's what I hope to do more often than not. And you comment along. All right? Aside from the political values list, everything that I discuss on these shows is meant for open dialogue and for you to start thinking, to think freely, and to list what you like. All right? But this is my personal positive affirmations. I will be clear that I am well aware of my shortcomings, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to talk about the positive stuff, owning it, being proud of who we are and what we are, and acknowledging it, to give us, to add some positivity, maybe a little dopamine to the mind and get us on the right track every day. So here we go. My top 10 positive affirmations. Number 10, I am accountable. I am super proud of this one because there was a point in time where I loved finger pointing. And I'm sure we all know somebody who loves finger pointing. They take no blame for their actions, and everybody else is the reason for all of their troubles. I haven't been like that in a couple of years. All right, I'm not perfect at it. I know I could do better. Again, acknowledging my shortcomings. But I'm pretty proud that if I mess up, I can own it. All right, and if I do something good, I can own it. All right, if I screw up at work or at home, yes, I did it. and I could deal with the repercussions. And in fact, maybe some days I'm a little too accountable, maybe a little over accountable, some might say. But I think there's good in being accountable. I don't run away from my problems. All right, I take them head on, and the repercussions for whatever happens, I deal with them. It is what it is, and I feel, and I know I'm a better person for it because I am surrounded by a lot of very unaccountable people, and that's my number 10. Number 9, I create with purpose and passion. Every single video that we do is created with purpose and passion. It stems from emotion, a emotional desire to talk about certain things. All right, it starts off with an idea, then it becomes an obsession, and then it comes to this handy dandy notebook. Covering up some of my entries here. It goes to this notebook, and then it becomes a video where it is talked about, discussed for you, and then edited. I love everything that I talk about. All right, I feel passionate for everything that I talk about, and even like outside of this, I write blogs, right, for my friend the Tank in his Tank Talk podcast, sports podcast show, and I don't do it because I'm a good writer or because I think I'm gonna have a future in journalism, but I do it because I love it and I'm passionate about it. And I'm also helping out a friend in that regard. So to me, creativity, that is something that I'm very, very proud of, is love. To me, it's me expressing my love for the world, for things that exist in this world. And yeah, I'm very proud of everything that I do. Everything that I do. Whether I switch it to private or not. Number 8. I am smarter than I give myself credit for. And this one's a tough one because I am around a lot of people who have felt comfortable to talk down to me over the years. I can't count how many times I've been called stupid or a moron or an idiot or a dumbass or any variety of intelligence insults. All right. I've dealt with it a lot. And it's hurt the most because it's come from people who I love and care about the most. But I am smart. I may not be college educated, but I have life experience. I have life experience. I failed a lot. I have overcome quite a bit. All right, maybe my path isn't as difficult as some others, but I'm pretty smart and I know what to do. And it stinks that people still feel the need to doubt me or insult my intelligence, but I know, there's stuff that I'm good at that people have no idea, how to do. People come to me asking questions about stuff all the time. People who sometimes, more often than not, are not very kind to me. And I help them anyways. I'm well read. Is that the right term for it? I don't know. But I've read a lot of books on self-help and intelligence and strategy and all sorts of things. And I know, just because I don't talk all the time, all right, just because I don't talk all the time in my personal life and whatnot, doesn't mean I'm dumb. I'm observing and maneuvering. And I'm pretty proud of that. So, number 8, I am smarter than I give myself credit for. Number 7, I am a good friend. I've been a bad friend. We did a whole episode on it back when we first started the show, to be honest with you. probably like March, way back in March. I know what I bring to the table. I know how much I'm willing to give. And again, I know my shortcomings in this department, but I know what I bring to the table. I will, if you need me, I will be there. And I think, to me, that is the most important trait you can have as a friend, is being there when people need you most. It's not about the, like, how often, really. It's about the important stuff. And you know, I like to think that I'm pretty generous with my friends. And I don't say that arrogantly, but I like to take care of my friends. I like to do nice things for my friends. You know, when I feel they absolutely deserve it, or even just because I know that's how I would like to be treated as a friend. You know? Yeah, I am a good friend. And that's my number 7. Number 6, I wore this shirt on purpose because it is my number 6. Whoop. Whoop. Took the long route there. I am stronger than my darkest days. And Lord knows I have had my darkest days. Some of them have been public. A lot of them have been private. But I am so much better than what my worst moments are. And I can only hope that people, when they look at me, when they talk about me, that they look at the positive stuff. They don't look at my worst moments and hold it against me for all time. And whether they do or not, that is not my problem. But I know that my lowest moments are few and far between. And I know that I'm a good person. And I know what I bring to this, you know, what I have to offer. Everybody goes through bad stuff. Everybody goes through bad stuff. If you are continually hampered by the bad stuff, then it's time, you know, it's time to break that bad habit. But yeah, everybody's due a bad day or a bad couple days. Life is not perfect. All right. I've witnessed some of the most positive people in my life have some absolute low moments. And I've never held that against them. At least I don't think. You know, one bad moment shouldn't ruin years of a relationship. One microcosmic bad moment shouldn't ruin all of the good. And I feel that way about myself. And yeah, I can be a little overbearing sometimes. I can be quite whiny and quite negative. But those days are few and far between. And I am proud of that. My number 5. My strength is greater than I realize. I've been through a lot in my life. I've gone through, you know, I've dealt with people who, again, you know, have insults about my intelligence and, you know, everything that I've gone through with relationships and socializing with friends and having to watch people talk badly about you out in the open. And I'm still here. I'm still persevering. And I think, like, even with that political values list in the comment section and how hard it was to realize that, you know, again, as I said at the top of the show, years ago, that would have been it. This, I think I said it. I've re-recorded this a couple of times, as I typically say. But this YouTube channel would have been done. I would have been like, all right, I'm done. I'm not talking on YouTube anymore. I'm done. But I'm still here. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that. Even, you know, I have not had it nearly as bad as a lot of people. I will admit that. But I've taken some abuse in my day. All right, I've taken some abuse, and I'm still here, and I'm still going. And there was plenty of low moments, but I'm here, and I'm proud of that. So that's my number 5. Number 4, I grow through everything that I experience. Those hard times, that failure, I don't really like this is a thing that I tend to think about. Like, man, when I fail, do I really lose? It stings in the moment, but like I tend to learn from my mistakes. Every bit of failure is a lesson and an opportunity to get better. Again, going back to the political values list. Again, it's something that I will not touch again on this channel. Absolutely will not. All right? It was a lesson learned. High school sports. Nothing more embarrassing than getting beat on a high school wrestling mat or getting benched or yelled at by a coach. So, I grow. And I do better the next time in order to make sure of that. And that is growth. All right, we've talked about growth and how on this show. We did a whole growth list, if I'm not mistaken. And talking about, how we deal with failure. If you keep making the same mistakes over and over again, then you deserve the repercussions of that. And trust me, I have made a lot of mistakes over and over again, like a dummy. Good self-talk there, Matthew. But now I don't know. I know what I like and I don't like. And I don't like being talked to certain ways. I don't like being on the losing end or having that gut-wrenching feeling of really like a failure constantly. So I take it and I grow through it. And I tend to feel that every day I'm a better version. All right, I've adapted, I've grown. So that's my number 4. Number 3, I am a hard worker. And this applies at my job and with everything else that I do. All right, at my job, hard work tends to go unnoticed, whether they want to say it or not. It is easier to be a worker that it does not work hard where I work and many other places. I think many hard workers can attest to that there is sometimes no benefit to being a good worker. But I take pride in what I have to offer. Last week was hard because I did really good packing stuff. All right, I work in a factory and I pack stuff out one week and I load trucks the other. And I worked extra hard because I was really hoping for an opportunity at Saturday overtime, which I did not get. But even knowing that overtime opportunity was not coming, I still had a really, really good week. And whether it went noticed or not, I don't know. Usually tends to go unnoticed, but I know that I worked hard. I know I did a good job. And I leave it. I make sure that you will never, ever, that no boss will ever be able to look at me and say you are not a good worker. There was a long stretch of time where I was not a good worker, openly admit. But now, maybe I am arrogant. But I think out of the probably nearly 100 people that my job employs, I would say I'm a top 10%er. I would. And that sounds arrogant as all heck, but I know what I'm worth. And even outside of work, this show, spending time writing these shows out, in editing and recording them. These recording sessions are not as easy. Like you guys see a very small amount of what makes it to the floor. Like there's times where I spend an hour and a half, 2 hours recording one video because I can just not get through it. And sometimes it's like, I don't know, like, should I just give up? Should I throw in the towel? But no, like, I want to get this done. I feel passionately about this. I want to get it done. Let's do it. And I work hard at it. And then not only that, I'm, I do the blog stuff for my buddy Tank. And I do other things. Like, I stay busy. I always have extracurricular activities because it just gives me purpose. And I feel good doing it. So I am a hard worker. That is my number 3. Very proud of that. My number 2, I am a great husband. And maybe I don't get the credit that I feel like I should for it. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Some people might look at it as, hey, you're just being a husband. And that should be like, it doesn't deserve credit. I feel like I endure a lot. And I go through a lot. And I don't, like, the positivity stuff is hard in that regard. It's hard. I run around like a maniac to make my wife's life as easy as I possibly can. And it's not perfect all the time, but I know the effort that I give. And even, again, when I don't get the credit that I feel I should, or don't get the appreciation that I feel like I deserve sometimes, I know what I have to offer. And I sleep good at night knowing that I've done all that I possibly could, that I've given everything that I possibly could to make something work. So that's my number 2. I am a great husband. My number 1, I am a great dad. I am a great dad, and I know it. I believe it. I see, like, it hurts my soul when I see people who don't want to be parents get to be parents, right? They never wanted kids, but they had them, and the level of involvement you see is like painful to watch. And to each their own, to each their own. I can only be a great dad. I cannot tell others to be great dads or parents, so to speak. And the ultimate like litmus test of this will be how my son views me. Someday, he may look at me and say that, oh, Dad, you're too overbearing, or Dad, you're too annoying, or Dad, get that phone camera out of my damn face. But for right now, I see how my son reacts when he wakes up. He smiles. He says, Dada. Or how he cries when I'm going to work. That breaks my heart, too. I hate that. Or how he lights up and runs to me when I come home from work. We do stuff. We stay busy. If we get the opportunity, me and my kid are out and about. We are going on adventures. We are going on nice walks. We are seeing stuff. And while he may not remember that stuff in a couple of years, as his memory starts to develop, as things start to be forgotten, I know what I have to offer as a dad. I have a great dad to model myself after. And now I'm really adding my own twists and so much more on all that. And I'm very proud of who I am as a dad. So there it is, everybody. The top 10 personal positive affirmations. Speak kindly to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Accentuate. Be proud of your good. All right? You're probably a lot better than you give yourself credit for, and probably a lot better than other people give you credit for. And you're probably better than other people sometimes give you credit for. All right? I love you all. Believe in yourself. And we'll be back on Friday with some fun list stuff. Till then, Do you even list?